Hey guys, Pastor Josh here. Want to do a short wisdom moment with you. Michael and I are going to be releasing these each week, and just want to share with you guys some of our thoughts and some of the things God's been sharing with us about the book of Proverbs as we study this as a church together. The first one that I'm getting to share with you guys is, man, just one of my favorite verses, Proverbs 3, 5 through 6. And it goes like this: Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. And this is such an amazing passage and one of my favorites from a kid. And as I was thinking about this, I thought back to my childhood when we used to go to the woods that was a couple miles from our house. It was a large 10,000 acre woods, and we would go hiking through it all the time. That was one of my favorite things to do as a kid. We'd hike. And in this woods, there was two kinds of paths. There was one path that wound through the whole woods, and you ended up back where you were. And also in this the woods, there was this main old railroad bed that they paved, and it was straight from one end to the other all the way through the woods. And I remember one time we tracked how quickly it took us to do the windy path and the hills and the rocks, and you'd go through this whole course, and we averaged about a mile per hour as we hiked that windy path. And then when we hiked the flat, paved, straight railroad bed, it took us, we could do it about 4 miles an hour at top hiking speed, which is pretty crazy to think. That's how much ground we could cover in a short amount of time. I love this Proverbs because at the end it says, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. And as I was thinking about this, it's just like that highway. God wants us to get on the straight path with him. And he will do that if we can do these three things that he says in this passage. And I love this reminder that he gives us. And the first thing that he says is this: trust in the Lord with all your heart. With all your heart, not just the little side thing like I'll trust God on Sunday, or I'll trust him with this thing, or this one little area of my life, I'll give that over to him. He wants us to go all in on him. I was thinking about it. It's kind of like playing cards, or playing poker. If any of you have ever played poker or will admit to playing poker, it's like you are given a hand of cards, right? You're dealt, and you can't control what you're dealt, right? We all get different cards. We all get different things. It's just like us in life. We all get different things, and we can't control what we get, but we get what we get, and we don't throw a fit. That's what I keep telling my 2-year-old anyways, right? And God's given us these things, and all he does is ask whatever you're dealt, whatever skills, abilities, things you have in life, he just wants you to go all in on him. And it might not make sense. You're like looking at what you got, and you're like, well, God, these aren't very good. Why would I go all in? And that's what he's asking us to do. Go all in on me, because I got the plan. And that kind of leads us to the second one, right? And lean not on your own understanding. It might not make sense. Like, look at this. I got a 3, a 9, a 4. Like, these are terrible cards. I can't win with this hand, God. Why would you call me to do something with this hand? And yet that's exactly what he's calling us to do. He wants us to go all in on him, and don't use human logic. He wants us to use his way of thinking. He wants us to be in tune with his way of thinking. And the last thing is this: in all your ways, acknowledge him. Man, this is such a refreshing thing. The goal of a Christian isn't to spend all day long in church or in our room reading our Bible. Our goal of a Christian is to, whatever we're doing, to be acknowledging him. If you find yourself out camping in the woods this weekend, out in the mountains, would you take a moment and acknowledge him in the quietness of your own heart? If you're rafting the Stillwater River and the wild and crazy high river right now, I hope you're not, but if you are, would you acknowledge him in those moments? And if you're alone at home in the darkness of the night, can you acknowledge him in those moments? If you're hurting, if you're stressed, if you're anxious, can you acknowledge him in those moments? Man, if you do those three things, go all in, lean not on your own understanding, and acknowledge him in all of your life, he's going to make your life grow at an exceedingly fast rate. He's not going to make your life perfect, and he won't take away all the challenges you face, but he will have you grow closer to him in a rate that you will never experience if you take that windy path. So you want to grow closer to God, you want to have the life that he has best for you, man, do those 3 things this week. Hey, be blessed and enjoy reading the book of Proverbs with us. We'll see you next time.